All right. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Rick Hamilton. Rick is with Hamilton Fine Homes of Remax Metro Atlanta. Rick, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dan?
Amazing. So, we are here today to get to know a little bit about you and your business. So, Rick, if you could tell us what it is that you do.
Well, I help people change where they live. If they're in a home currently and they want to move someplace else, I help them to sell the home they're in. If they're living in an apartment or in a house that's too small and they need to buy a new house, I help them to find the new house. And sometimes I help them to do both.
Right on. All right. Seems simple enough. So, how long have you been doing this for?
Well, I bought my first investment real estate back in 1980. And I did part-time commercial real estate through about 2000 and moved to Atlanta. I got my license and moved to Remax Metro Atlanta Remax Greater Atlanta in 2004. And I've been with Remax ever since.
Right on. So, you've been at it for quite a while at this point. You got your experience. Outside of your experience, so what would you say separates you, your company, from the competition out there?
Well, personally, I could point to education and experience. I have a dual degree undergrad in engineering and marketing. So I know how houses are built and I know how to sell them. My master's degree, my MBA is in information systems with a minor in finance. So I understand how to pay for these houses. And I know how to work all the computer systems that are so necessary to get us through the process.
Respect.
I've been doing this for a very long time and I've done it hundreds of times.
Yeah, you had mentioned when we first started speaking about some of the experience that you had on the tech side early in the days. I think you said in the 70s. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff, man. I'll tell you, as somebody who came up with all this tech and works in it, I know that's a value no matter where you go, and it could be applied in a lot of different ways. So, and as I'm sure with real estate. So getting back on track though, what would you say that, I mean, in this time, you've met a lot of people now, you've sold a lot of homes. Do you have a favorite customer service story that you'd like to share with us?
Um, well, I had one just last year where my seller was listing his condo for sale. And there was a bathtub. And the inspector came in and he crawled into the crawl space, and in a condominium building, it's with a shared crawl space. It's kind of hard to tell just which unit you're under.
Mm,
And the inspector saw some water leaking over there. And so he wrote it up and he said, it's possible that this owner's condominium is leaking. Well, then he looked up at the wood that surrounds the bottom of the bathtub and he says, that wood is rotten. So we get this report and the buyer is saying, you've got to rip out the tile, you've got to rip out the tub, you've got to
wow.
replace the wood, you've got to stop the water leaks. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that's a laundry list.
Yeah. So I said, now let's just slow down a second here and parse this out. Let's bring in an engineer. And I brought in one of my favorite engineering companies. And I put my engineer in the crawl space. And he took the time to understand, okay, what are the boundaries of my seller's condominium? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's water leaking, but that's from the next door neighbor.
Yeah.
So we were able to put that problem to bed. And then I asked my engineer, okay, would you please examine the wood around the bathtub and tell us if any of it, although discolored, is any of it bad? And he went up there and he poked and prodded and he said, no, this wood is all fabulous. You don't need to do any of those things. So I was able to then have him write up an engineer's report that we could supply to the buyer's agent and the buyer to say, we understand why you felt the way you did when your inspector said what he said.
Mhm.
But here's what the truth is. Here are the facts. And so let's focus on the facts and negotiate from there, which we did very successfully. And we went on to close the deal. The buyer was concerned her father was going to live in the condominium, and she was concerned that he was going to get into the bathtub, and all of a sudden the bathtub was going to
Fall
break
out.
off and fall into the crawl space. And I
It's
said,
like that scene from The Money Pit.
yeah, not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not to worry.
Well, I mean, that's great stuff. And you know, as my folks, they actually just recently purchased a home, and yeah, that inspection is probably one of the most important parts of the process. So it's really great that, you know, you could provide your engineers, your experts, and, you know, your critical way of looking at this, and, you know, providing that as an added value. So that's good stuff, man. Rick, we are running short on time here, so at this point I got to kind of let you go. But before we do, could you let us know how it is we could get in touch with you?
Sure. Feel free to call, text, email, or smoke signal. My phone number is 404-405-6992. My email is rick@hamilton, like the $10 bill, HAMILTON, finehomes.com. So that's rick@hamiltonfinehomes.com.
All right. Thank you very much, Rick. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Hamilton of Hamilton Fine Homes and Remax. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, sir.
Thanks, Dan. Talk to you soon.